Welcome to your Travel Contact Getting to Know Travel Contact webinar. In this webinar, we'll cover the following topics. Introduction to Travel Contact modules. We'll explain what each module does and what's the idea behind them. Training on basic features and main benefits for the travel advisor. We'll also cover how to store all client information and travel preferences, keeping track of all your clients' trips and itineraries, and finally, how to set up your user profile and your information within the platform. That being said, you're going to be muted throughout the entire webinar. If you have any questions, please, you can use the chat box or the Q&A. And as soon as I'm done with the webinar, I'll start answering them. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for being here. Let me start sharing my screen. Great, so here we are. As you know, TravelContact is a cloud-based platform. That means that we are not a software you download. There is not a specific computer in which you need to use the platform. You can access TravelContact from anywhere in the world using your credentials. The other thing about TravelContact is that we're built or divided into modules, which you'll always find here on the left side of the platform. Once you log in, you'll arrive into the home or dashboard module, which is this one that you're seeing right here. Our dashboard or home will be the starting point of your day. It is basically a summary of the entire operation. You'll be able to see everything that's happening on your trips regarding monthly without regards to the status. So if it's a proposal confirmed, finished, or not booked, you'll be able to see it right here in this box. You can also take a look at that yearly instead of monthly and just see how you're doing, how much you're building of each individual type of trip or status of different trips. Here you'll see your clients. You'll know exactly how many clients and how many prospects you have in your client database. Underneath my month trips, where it's going to be everything that is related to trips that are actually taking place, beginning or ending. But aside from those three statuses, you're not going to see anything else from trips right here in this month. On the commission side, you'll see all commissions that are coming in this specific month. You'll be able to keep track of them right here in this box. Finally, you'll be able to see any new clients that you've added to the platform in this specific month. And then you'll be able to take a look at reminders. Just a quick heads up, our reminders are going to be birthdays, passports and visas, and anniversaries. So passports and visas are related to expiration dates, of course, and birthdays and anniversaries, basically a heads up for you to congratulate your clients on their birthdays or anniversaries. This specific section is going to bring all the information forth from the reminders module, but we'll get to that as we go along. And then finally, on our dashboard, you'll be able to manage your tasks. Task is part of our Google integration. One of the other things about TravelContact is that we do have a lot of core development, and then you'll see that a lot of it's built for us, by us, for you guys. But we also started to include different key third-party integrations that we think are pivotal or essential to your operation, basically. One of those integrations is going to be Google. So with Google, you'll be able to manage your tasks. Every time you add a task right here, it's going to show up on your Gmail account and vice versa. To add a task, all you need to do is click on Add Task. Write the name of the task, for example, that you want to add right here, or the actual task. And then everything will be added. You can mark it as completed. Once you're done, you can actually link this to an already existing trip. You can delete it, edit it, or assign it to a specific advisor within your own company. You can manage tasks from here in the dashboard, and they will also show up on your trips module. That being said, let's go on to our clients module. In our clients module is basically where you'll keep all the information on your client. It's going to be your entire client database. You can add as much information as you might want or need. One of the differences that TravelContact has with the rest of the platforms and with a lot of services out there is that we do create individual profiles for each individual client. So we're not going to duplicate profiles. You're not going to have generic family profiles. Everyone will get their own information, and you'll be able to save preferences for each one individually. Even if you're contacting them through a different client or they're a sub-traveler, they will still get their own profile in the platform. You'll see here that we could do simple searches. All I need to do is type the name of the person I'm looking for or the last name of the person I'm looking for, and it's going to bring forth those results. We also have advanced searching capabilities, so if you want to look for a specific criteria, you can also enter it right here. You can filter, and this depends on your access level. In TravelContact, we have different type of users. We have admin users, advisors, assistants, managers, and finally a custom role. But most of the times, if you're an admin user, you would have access to all clients and only your clients. If you're an advisor, when you click on this drop-down menu, you will only see the options My Clients, My Assigned Clients, Shared Clients, and Prospects. Yes, we'll get to that. Once we open the client file, I'll show you everything you can do on your specific client profile. So this is the way that we can filter clients, or you can sort them by first name, last name, main traveler, or rating. Client list can be exported at any point. All you need to do is click on export, and then you can choose all clients, my clients, share clients, your assigned clients, or finally a custom export. If I were to choose all clients, for example, are you sure you want to download? Yes. Of course, you can only export your own clients. You won't be able to export anybody else's clients. And depending on the setting of your agency, we can have a setting to private or public. Public means that everyone will have access to all information regarding clients and trips. However, if you guys are using private mode on your agency, you will only be able to see the information of your own clients and your own trips, but you can share that information at any point with any other advisor. From here, I can share my client list in bulk, and if I wanted to do that individually, you can do so in the client profile as well. That being said, adding a client in TravelContact, which is the most basic feature that we have in the platform, all you need to do is click on Add Client, enter the first name, the last name, and finally a method of contact. You'll see that we have the red asterisk, meaning those are the required fields. If you want to add a prospect instead of client, the only thing that would change is that the method of contact is not going to be mandatory. However, you won't be able to add prospects to trips. So if you want to create a trip, you'll need to add a contact method for your client. So first name, last name, and then method of contact. You'll see that we need to add that method of contact can be an email address, it could be a phone number, or it could be a main traveler. Main traveler basically means that it's going to be an already existing client in your database, which is going to be the person that you communicate with in regards to everything on your client. So basically, it's a client representative. So once you add one of the three method contacts, you can go ahead and create your client. After you create your client, you can start inputting information into the client profile. You'll see here that we have our main categories on the left, and then we're going to have subcategories on top. All the categories that are available for every agency within TravelContact are going to be all of this down until activity log. These are ones that have been customized or custom created, and that is a different webinar that we'll cover, and then it's only available for admin users. But for now, if the new client is a main traveler, then it doesn't matter. They will always be registered with their own main traveler, meaning if you add an email address or if you add a phone number, then they are automatically an existing client that you can contact them directly, and you won't need the existence of a main traveler. They are the main traveler. But basically, the category or let's say the naming or making somebody a main traveler is when you give them sub travelers. However, every time you create a platform, a client in the platform, and you give them their own email address or their own phone number, they are a client per se, and you can contact them directly without having a main traveler, above them. So once you open that client file, here are, as I said before, the main categories and the subcategories are going to be on top. You'll see that we have everything in general information down from name down to seasonal addresses or anything else that you might need to have on file for your client. You have contact method, emergency contact. If they have any sub travelers, meaning there are main travelers for somebody else, then you'll have that information right here. If they are a sub traveler of somebody else, you'll see it right here. Phone numbers, important dates, addresses, assistants, all of that can be kept in this section. Then we're going to have the passports and visa section, where you can keep and store as much information on your client's passport, on as many passports as they have. We'll also help you keep track of that expiration date right here. You can upload the picture of your client's passport in case you need to review anything at any point. And as I said before, you can keep as many passports on your client as you might need. Same thing is going to apply for visas, and same thing is going to happen with nationalities. Then we're going to move on to our credit cards feature. Our credit card section is going to let you keep all the information on the credit cards for your clients. This is one of the other integrations that we have in our platform, and this one is with Oric specifically. Oric is a completely PCI compliant platform, so everything will be stored on their platform, and then we'll give you access from TravelContact right here. If you want to know a little bit more about Oric, you can always go ahead and click on the link right here and read all the feature and specific on their company. You can edit this credit card, you can delete it at any point, you can add as many cards as you want or need for your client, and then you can review the information at any point as well. To view the information, all you need to do is click on reveal, a code will be emailed to you, and then you enter that code right here, and then you'll have access to that information. Then we're going to go down to networks. Networks is going to give you the ability to group your clients into different traveling groups per se. So if it's somebody who frequently travels together, such as family, coworkers, or friends, you'll be able to create that network right here in TravelContact and keep track of those networks at any point. In preferences, we have over 250 travel-oriented preferences that you can select everything from interest down to specific hotel preferences, time of year they like to travel, frequent or usual budget, time of the year that they'd like to travel. Everything can be set up right here. And if you happen to be a Virtuoso agency, we are linked with Virtuoso, so you can manage those Virtuoso preferences from this specific section, and you can manage all marketing codes as well from here. Traveler numbers are going to be everything related to reward programs. You can add them and keep them on track right here. Agency information is something I like to call the back office of the client. In that sense, you'll be able to review all the general information of that client, meaning when were they added to the platform, who is the agent that this has been assigned to. In case you have branches or sub-agencies, you'll be able to review that as well. If it's a client that you are sharing, you can do it right here, and I can do that individually and share it with another advisor, or remove the sharing that I've already set up at some other point as well. If it's a source client, you'll see the information right here. Source client meaning, and this depends on the agency and how you guys work, but sometimes clients are property of the agency and they are just assigned to the advisor. You'll see that information right here, and then you can leave any comments with privacy settings, meaning public or private, right here in order to keep anything in mind. So this would be the place where you would add the notes that you were asking about before, Tina. You can add comments right here and keep those notes on this client at any point. Of course, this is going to be only for the client profile. In trips, you'll also be able to manage any type of notes, and you'll be able to keep all that information from there. Aside from the agency information, we're going to have an entire list of trips. It doesn't matter the status of the trip. It was something that you created as a draft and your client never went, or it was something that was canceled, confirmed, recent, any type. It doesn't matter the status of the trip. You'll always be able to review that trip right here in the trip list. You can actually click on it and see a quick timeline of what that specific trip was meant to be, or you can actually go to the trip and review it a little bit further and go deeper into the details of that trip. You can also store additional documents for your clients, so anything that you want to keep on hand, this is going to work exactly like the cloud. You can upload any type of document right here, and then you can access it from anywhere in the world as long as you have your TravelContact credentials. And then finally, the communication sent, which is also going to be tied to reminders. It's basically going to show you all communications from reminders that have been sent to your client on your behalf. And that's what we have for the client module. Now let's move on to our trip module. Our trip module is basically where you'll start building the trips. You'll see here that, for example, for admin users, you'll see my trips and all trips. For advisors, you only see my trips. Here you can do simple searches for your trips, or you can do advanced searches as well by each individual category, and at any point I can go ahead and clear all filters, and it will take me back to my original list of the entire trip list basically. To add or create a trip in TravelContact, all you need to do is click on create trip. Now the required fields for creating a trip, it's going to be a trip name, a main contact, and finally who is a trip owner. So if you are going to be the trip owner, or this is going to be assigned to another agent, you can do that right here. The rest of the information that you see here is completely optional. You can add it right now when you're creating the trip, or you can add it later on when you're actually building the trip. Once you create a trip, the trip is going to look a little bit like this. You'll see that each trip has its own page, and it's going to cover the trip from A to Z. So basically, it's going to start from dashboard all the way down to history, task notes and documents, accounting, itinerary, service, and clients. So on the dashboard, you'll see a summary of the entire trip. We'll show you costs, commissions, payments, pending invoices in case there are any, the size of the party, who is the main client, of course, and the agent responsible for the trip and the dates for that trip. And you'll also be able to take a look at how many types of services you have, and the status of each one of those services that you've added to the trip. Aside from that, you'll have our status bar, which is going to accompany you no matter the section that you're in the trip. So you'll see that if I go to clients, my status bar is still going to come with me, letting me know the total trip cost, total commission, the ability to add services from importing from GDS, and then finally the status bar of the trip. Every time you create a trip in TravelContact, it's going to automatically become a proposal draft. You can manually move that to negotiation, and then if you confirm any service within the trip, it's going to become a confirmed trip. 1 week before the trip starts, it's going to become upcoming. Then once the first date of the first service arrives, it's going to become active. The last date of the last service in the trip is going to become recent. And finally, once you don't have to receive any payments, you can mark it as closed, or you can cancel this trip at any time as well. In the client section, you'll be able to add as many clients as you want. You'll also be able to divide them into paying groups, so you can split the cost of services further down the line. You'll also be able to add services to that trip, meaning you'll be able to create the services in this page. There are 3 ways you can add services in TravelContact. However, we cover that in our trip introduction to trips and accounting webinar. I'm sorry. So here are the 3 ways you can add services. As you can see, we'll take everything into consideration from description, type, clients, total cost, date range, if there are any sub-services or client groups. And from here, you can actually create quotes, create invoices, review those invoices, and report payments, etc. Every time you add something into TravelContact, the service, we're going to create an itinerary for you. We do have our own very basic itinerary, which is nothing more than a timeline for your client. We'll have a general timeline and then individual timelines as well. Or you can take advantage of another one of our integrations with this UMap. As you know, UMap is an itinerary builder, and they have a lot more tools that you can take advantage of. All you need to do is build the trip in TravelContact, publish it to UMap, and then continue to use all of their features right there. The accounting section will let you basically keep track of all the accounting. So anything from invoices to supplier payments and commissions, you can report payments, manage invoices, download these invoices, send it to your client, edit them at any time, and basically keep track of the entire payment process of the trip right here from TravelContact. Task notes and documents is going to let you keep exactly that. You can add tasks to the trips, and you can link them and manage them from right here. You can keep notes and attach them to specific services or just general notes. And then you can also upload any type of file that you might need to keep at hand for this specific trip right here. Then we move on to our suppliers module, which is basically the entire database of suppliers. You'll be able to keep track of all your suppliers right here, have your contact information for suppliers at hand, build labels and filter them by labels. You can filter them by country, by type of service, and by most recent or all suppliers. Adding a supplier in TravelContact, fairly easy as well. All you need to do is click on add supplier, supplier type, and supplier name. Depending on the type that you're adding, some things are going to be brought forth and they're going to auto-populate from Google, and the other things you'll have to enter manually, of course. This is what a supplier profile would look like. And then on supplier profiles, we do have 2 levels. So general information, if it's a supplier that exists in our core, you're going to be able to see it right here, and it's going to be available for everyone that uses TravelContact. But then underneath, from labels to GDS codes to additional information, is going to be on an agency level. So only you are going to be able to see that, and then you're going to have the ability to add your contacts and your comments and any other information that you might want right here in the supplier module. Then we're going to take a look at, of course, commission section is where you would manage, and this is only for admins, but you would manage reconciliation of commission payments. Then we're going to have the reminders module, which basically is going to show you all upcoming reminders. So for example, if I wanted to know if I have any birthdays of my clients coming up this month, then great. I can go ahead and click on that envelope. type whatever message I want to do. I can attach files, I can add images, I can do anything right here, and then I can send that to my client. Um, I can always take a look at the history and see all communications sent to my client. As I was telling you before, I go back to my client profile on communications sent, and I can review them and see any of them have been, how many communications I've sent, all of them have been received, etc. And then I can manage that. The reminders in TravelContact at the moment are going to be, as I said before, birthdays and anniversaries, and then passport and visa expiration. The transactions module is going to basically show you the raw data of everything that you're entering, creating, or adding to TravelContact. So in that sense, we're going to give you a service report, a commission report, and an invoice report. So you can see that service report is going to show me everything that I've sold or booked through TravelContact. Then I can apply date range to this, so I can go back and say, I just want to see everything from May until today. And then I want that date to apply to the start date of the trip instead of the creation date, for example, and then it's going to modify that search for me. And it's going to give me all this information regarding those services. I can export this at any point, and it's going to export that as a CSV file as well. So I can continue working on it, use it in any accounting system that I might have, or basically just apply filters and take a look at my data and work with it as I see fit. Then we're going to move on to our commissions report. Our commissions report is going to be divided into 3. So not received means that the agency has not received that payment yet, and everything is upcoming. Not paid basically means that the information, the commission, was paid to the agency, but still not paid to the agent. And finally, paid to the agent is going to be the one, once the agents receive the payment, you're going to be able to see right here and apply the same data filter, and of course you can export it as well. And the same thing is going to happen with invoices report. So basically, this is, as I was telling you, it's raw data. Of course, you only be able to see, unless you're an admin, your own information. So that is a way to keep track of everything that you're doing and all the sales and services or commissions that you're building or adding to the platform. And then we're going to take that raw data and build this pie charts and graphs for you so you can take a better look and do data-driven decisions, basically. For admins, it's a great way to see the entire agency workings and how everyone is doing. For you as an advisor, it's going to be great because it's going to give you a performance review, show you exactly how much you're selling, how much you're generating for yourself, how much you're generating for the agency, and strong and weak points that you need to either reinforce or just work on. We also have a lot of different suppliers. I'm sorry, a lot of different reports that you can generate. One of the favorite ones for me, or my favorite one, is going to be this one, which is supplier, because it's going to show you exactly how much you're selling for each individual supplier. So I can take a look at supplier types first, choose, for example, Login, and then it's going to show me based on chains or brands. And then when I choose, it's going to tell me exactly to which property I'm sending what amount of money or how much business I'm generating for that property. So in that sense, for me, this is a great tool because it's going to give you leverage in the end with suppliers. Of course, we do have 2 other integrations. So for everything on the accounting side, transactions, etc., we are integrated with QuickBooks. So you can generate that link and then use QuickBooks to send payable invoices and keep track of those payments and invoices and everything from the QuickBooks. So it's a little bit of a self-accounting tool. And then from the reports, we are completely integrated as well with Tableau. Tableau is a great tool for generating customized reports. You can do anything from reports of sales by destinations down to cities, or by age. It all depends on how much information you have in TravelContact and how much of that information can be migrated to Tableau. So that would be the way to keep track of everything in TravelContact. What we're missing before finishing with this webinar are 2 quick things. The first one is going to be your profile. So if you click on your name and then you click on My Profile, you'll be able to edit your information within the platform. So you'll see here that I can edit my name, my last name, phone number, TravelContact ID. You'll see here that if I can do that TravelContact ID, of course you won't be able to edit because we give it to you, but you can do the email address. You can change your password at any point. Then also you can manage your preferences. So in this sense, you can select the date format and the default language that you want to see the platform in. In case you are paying for your own subscription, you can manage your billing from this section. And finally, you can manage your integrations, in this case, right here from your profile. And of course, you can edit and change your picture at any point. Aside from that, the other thing I wanted to cover is going to be the help center. Um, as you know, you have Travel Contact includes a Travel Contact guru, which is somebody that's going to be assigned to you always to answer your doubts, your questions, or anything that you might need or have at the moment. In that sense, that travel contact guru will be taking you by the hand, helping you with trainings, answering your questions, and any bugs or problems that you might have in the platform. But aside from that, we also have a bunch of tools that are going to help you, navigate the platform and learn how to do things right here. We do have this weekly webinars. So for our market, they're going to be on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Standard Eastern Standard Time. We're going to cover different topics. We're going to review different aspects of platforms. Every time we do a new update to the platform, we'll cover it in those webinars. But if you're encountering any questions that you might have, we always have the help center right here. You'll see that this little window will pop up. You can type in any type of questions that you want to have. So for example, if I wanted to see everything that we have on commissions, it's going to bring forth frequently asked questions, um, you know, step-by-step guides, tutorials, videos, everything that you want or might review right here. If I want to go a little bit deeper, I can actually click on that arrow and it's going to take me to our Zendesk page. And here I can manage all videos, all information, all frequently asked questions. I can take a look at our upcoming webinars, recorded webinars. Everything is right here on our Zendesk page, and you can review it at any point. If by any chance you're having a problem with Travel Contact and it's not something that you're finding on the Help Center, you can always click on Contact Us, and this is going to go directly to our support team. You can leave your name, your email address, let us know the problem, and if you can add attachments, it would be great to see what exactly is happening. And somebody from our support team will get back to you, either somebody from the support team or they will contact your Travel Contact guru and they will get in touch with you. If you wanted a more detailed or guided solution for how to do features or how to understand certain features in Travel Contact, we always have the Learning Academy. And for example, if you wanted to see how to add a client, in this case, I can always say, show me how to add a client, and it's going to show me exactly all the results that I have. When I click on them, it's going to take me by the hand and show me exactly where I need to click in order to get to the specific feature that I'm trying to achieve. Aside from that, I think that's all we are going to cover today in the webinar. I don't know if you guys have any questions before we go. Thank you so much for your time, for taking the time to take a look at this webinar. And thank you so much for being on board in Travel Contact. For us, it's a real pleasure to have you here.